Welcome to Books for Success. Today, we're delving into The Wisdom Within, How to Love Better, by Yung Pueblo. How to Love Better offers practical guidance for deepening compassion, fostering honesty, and nurturing stronger connections with yourself and others. It emphasizes embracing change, releasing attachment, and practicing selfless listening to build harmonious relationships that support personal growth and emotional healing. Before we begin, subscribe and ring the bell for notifications if you want to keep receiving book summaries about health, wealth, love, psychology, and much more. Please don't hesitate to drop your book suggestions for us to summarize. Also, you can use this video as an audiobook summary. Let's grow and succeed together. What's in it for me? A new perspective on love. Relationships are complicated. They often start out joyful, but sooner or later, insecurities, misunderstandings, and unrealistic expectations emerge. These subtle issues disrupt harmony, whether it's friction caused by conflicting egos, tension from hidden fears, or attachment disguised as affection. Arguments become more frequent, feelings get hurt, and the loving bond weakens. Yet, despite all these challenges, relationships remain incredibly valuable because they offer something rare, an opportunity for personal growth. Genuine love doesn't mean being perfect or having zero conflicts. Instead, it's about recognizing your patterns, being radically honest about your feelings, and learning how to communicate with kindness and clarity. Love deepens when you stop treating conflicts as threats and begin seeing them as invitations to greater compassion and self-understanding. This summary guides you to release attachment and embrace a healthier form of love, one based on freedom, trust, and vulnerability. It explores why the love you have for yourself determines the quality of love you share with others. Finally, it shows how addressing your ego, making peace with imperfections, and accepting your partner are the keys to real intimacy. Chapter 1: Love and freedom are synonymous. Love begins within you. It shapes the relationship you have with yourself. At its core, self-love means facing your emotional history without running from difficult feelings. It requires courage to look inside and accept what you find. It inspires the drive to become a better, more authentic version of who you are. Self-love is the energy you rely on to care for yourself, heal your wounds, and ultimately set yourself free. Practicing self-love involves a few powerful habits. First, you need radical honesty. This means checking in with yourself regularly and truthfully accepting what you feel. Honesty might be tough at times, but it's necessary for growth. Once you're honest with yourself, you start clearly seeing which habits harm and help you. Equally important is self-acceptance. Loving yourself isn't only about transformation, it's also about appreciating who you are right now. A lack of self-love affects every area of your life. It shapes how you see your worth and connect with others deeply. Without it, you fall out of balance, limiting your potential. When self-love is strong, it creates inner harmony, helping you reach your full capability. Moving beyond yourself, love extends into family and friendships. Humans naturally crave connection and belonging. The people you love help shape your identity, adding meaning to your existence. Yet these relationships can get tense. Problems often arise when you impose strict expectations on others or when your past hurts drive you to control them. You struggle to love people just as they are, withholding affection if they don't meet your expectations. Of course, romantic love holds a unique power. It's intimate, enriching, and sometimes challenging. Romantic relationships shape many of life's most precious moments, often becoming cherished memories. Even knowing love's risks, you willingly embrace the vulnerability required because the experience is deeply valuable. At its highest level, love becomes wisdom. Achieving this elevated state means seeing yourself and all beings through a lens of compassion. You consciously train yourself to replace hate and division with kindness and empathy. In a heated discussion, instead of reacting with anger, take a deep breath and say, "I understand this is important to you. Let's talk about it calmly." Listen actively, validate their feelings, and respond with empathy, such as, "I see why you feel that way. Let's work together to find a solution." This loving mindset marks a peak in personal growth, freeing your mind from pain. Ultimately, love and freedom become one, because when your mind is free of suffering, it naturally fills with love. Chapter 2: Attachment is the enemy of love. Attachment is easily mistaken for closeness because both can feel intense and intimate. But there's a crucial difference. Closeness creates healthy bonds based on openness and trust, while attachment breeds fear, control, and insecurity. Closeness allows two people to support each other's growth without tension, whereas attachment generates anxiety around losing someone, leading to possessiveness and attempts to control their actions. At its core, attachment is resistance to change. Life is in flux. Everything is constantly evolving. Yet attachment attempts to freeze relationships in place, forcing things to remain as they currently are. This refusal to accept reality leads to harmful behaviors, including manipulation, selfishness, and unwillingness to allow partners to grow. True connection demands room for individual growth, honoring each person's freedom to change at their own pace. A relationship grounded in attachment feels suffocating because it lacks the space both partners need to be themselves. Genuine love respects individuality and freedom, and acknowledges that a healthy partnership requires breathing room. Partners who truly love one another support each other's transformations, recognizing that growth enriches rather than threatens their bond. When attachment dominates a relationship, on the other hand, change feels threatening. The fear of losing control can become overwhelming, triggering insecurity, jealousy, and conflict. Attempts to hold someone back from their natural growth are not only unrealistic, they're unfair. Human nature is dynamic, and everyone is constantly evolving, consciously or unconsciously. Even those who avoid intentional personal development will still experience shifts in their thoughts, desires, and interests over time. Expecting a partner to stay unchanged goes against life's natural flow and inevitably results in frustration and tension. To create lasting, fulfilling relationships, partners must replace attachment with genuine love rooted in freedom. Freedom in love means accepting, and even embracing, change as part of the human experience. Only then can the connection remain vibrant and nurturing rather than stifling and restrictive. In the end, attachment is love's greatest enemy because it denies partners the freedom to grow into their fullest potential. Love must allow space for change, and trust that personal growth strengthens the bond rather than weakens it. When you let go of attachment and embrace freedom, relationships become healthier, happier, and more meaningful. Chapter 3: Arguments can undermine or strengthen your relationship. Relationships naturally include difficult moments, disagreements, and arguments, but conflict isn't necessarily a sign that two people aren't meant for each other. Instead, it's proof that both of you are human, with unique perspectives shaped by different life experiences. Arguments offer a meaningful chance for deeper understanding, if you approach them intentionally. Your first reaction to conflict may be defensive, triggering a survival mindset. This survival response sees arguments as threats and pushes you toward either shutting down or fighting to win. Pausing before responding helps you step out of this survival mode. By taking a moment, you can consciously choose to communicate in ways that promote healing rather than harm. Being intentional in this way ensures arguments become bridges rather than barriers. Healthy conflict resolution depends on your commitment to growth. When both partners prioritize their love over the need to win, resolution naturally follows. To do this successfully, you must be serious about your own personal development. Appreciating your partner's viewpoints requires openness and maturity. Expecting relationships to be conflict-free is unrealistic. You each carry egos shaped by past experiences, including defensive habits learned during challenging times. These patterns surface when tension arises, prompting defensive or controlling behavior. Maturity means confronting friction calmly and respectfully. Both partners can intentionally create an environment that transforms conflict into compassion. Two key practices make this transition smoother: recognizing your partner's perspective as valid, and practicing selfless listening. Every disagreement has two legitimate sides, each deserving attention and acknowledgement. Genuine understanding comes when you combine these perspectives, creating a fuller picture of the situation. Acknowledging your partner's viewpoint is essential. However, your ego may resist, eager to prove its own correctness. Selfless listening is the antidote to this ego-driven resistance. It involves intentionally giving your full attention to your partner's words. Compassion grows when you immerse yourself in their perspective, genuinely trying to feel and see what they do. This focused listening fosters understanding and eases conflict, because your partner feels genuinely heard. Ultimately, relationships flourish when partners approach conflict intentionally. Choosing compassion over control, and connection over ego, leads to deeper intimacy. Chapter 4: Relationships thrive when you let go of your ego. The ego's primary purpose is self-protection, which often causes friction when two people get close. It instinctively defends itself by placing blame instead of accepting personal responsibility. The ego believes it's at the center of reality, making it hard to genuinely understand others. This habit of centering itself often distorts perception, making it tough to distinguish truth from assumptions. Since the ego constantly views situations through a defensive lens, relationships frequently become battlefields. Rather than seeing your partner as a teammate, the ego sees threats everywhere, even when none exists. If your mindset is set to survival mode, you'll quickly interpret your partner's actions negatively, viewing that person as an adversary. Small disagreements can escalate because your ego insists on seeing danger where there's only misunderstanding. Breaking free from the ego's grip takes deliberate practice. To create harmony, you must intentionally loosen your attachment to your perspective. This means acknowledging that your feelings and interpretations aren't always accurate reflections of reality. Embracing vulnerability allows genuine connection and healing conversations. Letting go of ego-driven defensiveness fosters an environment in which responsibility for mistakes is shared, not avoided. True love is clear when you sincerely desire your partner's happiness and feel comfortable sharing control. Rather than insisting on your way, you openly invite your partner to take charge as well. Healthy relationships involve equal contributions, with both partners co-creating a shared life. Cooperation in small daily decisions, like choosing meals or weekend plans, builds trust and intimacy. These seemingly minor choices affirm your mutual respect and willingness to share power equally. For major decisions, such as where you'll live or whether you'll have children, county creation becomes even more essential. Both partners must feel equally empowered and free to express themselves. Clearly stating your needs allows you both to find balance, understanding where to step back and where to compromise. Instead of clinging to control, you consciously make space for your partner's desires, creating a balanced, supportive partnership. When the ego dominates, communication becomes difficult, clouding your understanding of each other. But as you learn to soften the ego's hold, your conversations grow clearer, kinder, and more effective. Authentic love emerges naturally when you're no longer driven by defensiveness. By consciously choosing vulnerability over ego, you build relationships grounded in genuine partnership, mutual respect, and joyful collaboration. Chapter 5: Patience with yourself and from your partner are vital when you're working on growing. Love reaches its fullest potential when you feel completely accepted by your partner exactly as you are, strengths and flaws included. Real love doesn't constantly seek to alter or correct you. If your partner continuously urges you to change fundamental aspects of yourself, it signals they're in love with an idea, not the real person standing before them. While personal growth is valuable, it must be self-driven rather than forced by someone else's expectations. Humans naturally change over time, but intentional growth requires focus, effort, and patience. Ingrained patterns don't vanish overnight. Even if you clearly recognize the need for change, transforming yourself involves dedicated practice. Determination helps, yet significant changes usually happen gradually. Your journey toward improvement will inevitably have setbacks. Being patient with yourself, and having your partner's patience, is crucial. Patience creates the supportive environment you need to navigate the ups and downs of personal growth. An authentic paradox exists in loving relationships. True love accepts you as you are but simultaneously inspires you to grow. When you feel genuinely loved and safe, you naturally find the energy and courage to heal old wounds and embrace new ways of being. Many people expend significant energy just coping with daily life or searching for a loving partner. Once in a secure relationship, that same energy can shift toward deeper internal healing and meaningful personal evolution. Love becomes a nurturing force that encourages the best parts of you to emerge, motivating you to strive for your highest self. Relationships are powerful opportunities for self-discovery and personal development. They serve as training grounds for strengthening skills essential to all aspects of your life. For instance, relationships help you understand perspectives beyond your own, build patience, and manage emotional reactions constructively. These improved qualities positively affect your interactions at work, with friends, and within your community. Healthy relationships don't require you to change who you fundamentally are. Instead, they provide fertile ground where your best qualities naturally flourish. Within a supportive partnership, you're encouraged to evolve in ways you might never have considered on your own. Genuine love doesn't insist upon perfection. Rather, it creates a safe space for exploring deeper levels of compassion, self-awareness, and resilience. Your relationship becomes a source of strength, guiding you toward greater clarity about your values and priorities. The energy once spent seeking a partner now enriches your life together, enhancing both your connection and individual growth. Final words. In this summary, you've learned that love begins with self-acceptance and honesty. Freedom, not attachment, strengthens relationships. Genuine connection respects individuality and encourages personal growth. Healthy conflict deepens intimacy through compassion and patient listening. Overcoming ego-driven defensiveness creates harmony. Authentic partnerships share power and decisions equally. Patience and support help you gradually transform. True love inspires growth without demanding change, providing a safe environment for you to evolve into your best self. Thanks for being part of our insightful voyage. If our summary piqued your interest, we encourage you to dive into the complete book for a deeper understanding. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more content if you're new here, and share it with others who might find it valuable. Keep on reading, discovering, and advancing until our next adventure.